1 month after the war began, at least a week after Russia thought it would have declared victory, and Ukraine scores one of the biggest successes of the war. A Russian naval landing ship hit and destroyed in the occupied harbour of Berdyansk. 2 others that lay alongside, damaged and forced to flee.
Good morning, Mr. President.
For NATO leaders at an emergency summit in Brussels today, this is heartening news, as are reports that Ukraine may be pushing the Russians back around Kiev. But if they thought that meant the pressure would be off to send more help, they were quite wrong. In an address to the summit, Ukraine's President Zelenskyy wants much more, specifically tanks and aircraft. We're asking for tanks, he told them. You have at least 20,000 tanks. Ukraine is asking for 1% of all your tanks. Give them to us or sell them to us. There's no sign that will happen, nor that NATO will confront Russia directly. But 4 new NATO battle groups are now to be sent to reinforce the alliance's southeastern borders, while the UK will send 6,000 more defensive missiles, plus an extra £25 million in aid. Boris Johnson has led the way on military help and for his pains been labelled Russia's enemy number 1 by Moscow. But amongst Western leaders, he at times seemed to cut an isolated figure today. And unlike President Biden, he hasn't been invited to the EU discussion tonight on tightening oil and gas sanctions. Is Europe doing enough? Are the Germans doing enough? What will Britain do to help other countries who rely more on Russian oil and gas to wean themselves off it?
Thanks, James. Look, and I just want to say that this is easier for some countries than it is for others. I think it's heroic, and I applaud what Germany is doing. They've set themselves deadlines to move away from oil and gas. I don't think it'll be easy, and the Italians are doing the same. I don't think it'll be easy for them, but it's the right thing to do in the long term, in the medium term, and we will help, of course.
President Biden spoke of an alliance that was confounding everyone, not least Moscow, with the unity it is showing.
Putin was banking on NATO being split. My early conversation with him in December and early January, it was clear to me he didn't think we could sustain this cohesion. NATO has never been more united than it is today.
But while the alliance has been shocked back into relevance and purpose, there remains a determination not to be dragged into this conflict. At least not unless Putin resorts to chemical or nuclear weapons, in which case all bets could be off.